Have you ever felt like life is dragging you along? That your emotions are dominating you? That challenges are overwhelming you to the point of paralysis? Let me ask you a question you might never have dared to vocalize. Are you living the life you truly desire? Or are you simply reacting to the circumstances around you? There's a silent battle raging within each of us, a constant struggle between the mind that frees us and the mind that chains us. And today, in this shared space, we are going to embark on a journey towards freedom, towards unshakable peace, towards that inner strength that has always been there, waiting to be awakened. Because the truth is, the greatest prison isn't behind cell bars, but within the invisible bars of an uncontrolled mind. And the key to that freedom, that key has always been in your hands. Imagine for a moment waking up every day with a serenity untouched by external chaos. Imagine facing challenges not with fear, but with an unyielding calm and astonishing mental clarity. Imagine that losses, failures, disappointments don't destroy you, but strengthen you. This isn't a fantasy. It's a reality within your grasp. And it's not about denying your emotions or becoming a heartless automaton. It's about understanding how your mind works, learning to direct it instead of being swept away by it. It's about ancient wisdom, as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. A philosophy of life that teaches you to flourish even in adversity. I'm talking about Stoicism, but not the Stoicism of dusty books and abstract theories. I'm talking about living, pulsating Stoicism, the kind you feel in every beat of your heart when you decide to be the master of your own destiny. Think of those times when a hurtful word consumed you for hours, when anxiety about the future robbed you of sleep, when regret over the past paralyzed you. Wouldn't it be incredible to have the ability to observe these emotions, acknowledge them, but not allow them to dictate your mood, your decisions, your entire life? That is the promise of this path. Here, I won't give you magic solutions or superficial shortcuts. I'll give you tools to forge a mental armor, to sculpt your character, to build an internal fortress that nothing and no one can tear down. Because happiness isn't something you find outside, it's something you cultivate within. This is a time of noise, distractions, constant demands. We are inundated with information, external opinions, comparisons that make us feel like we're never enough. In this whirlwind, our mind is our only refuge. And if that refuge is in ruins, where will we find peace? Stoicism offers us an anchor. It teaches us to discriminate between what we can control and what we cannot. And this seemingly simple distinction is the key to all freedom. Can you control traffic? No. Can you control how you feel about traffic? Absolutely yes. Can you control the words others direct at you? No. Can you control how those words affect you? Without a doubt. This is the first great pillar. Focus your energy, your time, your attention on your circle of influence. Everything else is noise, a distraction that robs you of your peace and your power. Think of someone you know who seems unbreakable, who, despite adversity, maintains composure, a smile, direction. What makes them different? It's not that they don't feel pain. It's not that they don't experience losses. It's that they have trained their mind not to be enslaved by those experiences. They've learned to observe the storm without being swept away by it. They've discovered that while they can't control the wind, they can adjust the sails of their own ship. And that ship, your ship, is you, your mind, your judgments, your choices. One of the most potent lessons this philosophy gives us is memento mori, a reminder, not depressing, but deeply liberating. Remember that you will die. Sounds strong, doesn't it? But pause for a moment and feel the weight of those words. They aren't there to instill fear, but to awaken gratitude and urgency. If you knew you had a few years left, a few months, even a few days, how would your priorities change? Would you still worry about small offenses, trivial arguments, what others think? Probably not. You'd start living with an intensity and authenticity you'd never known before. You'd embrace your loved ones, pursue your dreams with fervor, forgive yourself. Memento mori is a mirror that confronts you with the truth of your existence. Life is finite. Time is an irreplaceable treasure, and every day you postpone living fully is a day that won't return. Use it as an engine, not a brake. Wake up every morning with the awareness that this day is a gift, an opportunity to live with purpose, to love without reservations, to create without limits. Another fundamental lesson, almost a mantra, is virtue is the sole good. Today, we live in a world that bombards us with the idea that happiness is found externally: money, fame, beauty, status. And while these things aren't bad in themselves, Stoicism teaches us that they are indifferent. They don't guarantee happiness, and their absence doesn't condemn us to misery. True wealth, the only kind no one can take from you, resides in your character, in your wisdom to discern, in your justice to act correctly, in your courage to face fear, in your temperance to control your impulses. When your actions align with these values, when you act with integrity and kindness, you experience a peace and satisfaction that no material possession can equal. Imagine a person with all the money in the world, but consumed by envy and fear. Are they truly happy? Now, imagine someone with just enough to live, but who acts with nobility, who helps others, who faces their difficulties with courage. Which of the two possesses true wealth? Virtue isn't an abstract concept, it's a way of living, an internal compass that guides you in every decision, big or small. And this leads us to live in accordance with nature. This isn't a call to move to the woods, but to understand human nature and the nature of the universe. We are rational beings, capable of thought, reason, choice. And we are social beings, interconnected. Living in accordance with nature means accepting the impermanence of everything. Seasons change, people come and go, circumstances evolve. Resisting this natural flow is an inexhaustible source of suffering. It also means recognizing our capacity for adaptation, our innate resilience. And finally, it means acting with benevolence, with compassion, with a sense of community. When you live in harmony with these principles, you become a flow, adaptable and resilient, a human being who understands their place in the vast tapestry of existence and who acts with a purpose greater than mere ego. Think about the last time something went wrong for you, a situation where you felt powerless, frustrated, angry. What was your first reaction? Rage, complaint, victimhood. Stoicism invites us to a radical practice. Adversity is an opportunity. This isn't about masochism, but about profound wisdom. Stoics believed in the premeditation of evils, in imagining the worst possible scenarios, not to attract them, but to mentally prepare for them, to strip them of their emotional power. If you lose your job, what's the worst that could happen? Would you be homeless? Would you starve? Probably not. And by facing these fears in your mind, you realize that you are much stronger and more adaptable than you thought. This practice vaccinates you against the blow of adversity. It allows you to say, "This is difficult, yes, but I've considered it, and I have the internal resources to overcome it." But how do we train our mind to be stoic, not reactive? How do we move from theory to practice? Imagine your mind as a garden. If you leave it to its own devices, weeds will grow. If you cultivate it carefully, the most beautiful flowers will bloom. Stoicism offers us concrete tools to be gardeners of our own minds. The first is observation without judgment. Most of us live in a constant stream of thoughts and emotions, identifying with each of them as if they are who we are. I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm a failure. But the Stoic mind teaches us to step back, to observe these thoughts as if they were passing clouds in the sky. A thought of sadness is appearing, a feeling of anger is arising. This slight distance gives you power. It allows you to choose whether to feed that emotion or let it go. It's not about suppressing it, but about not allowing it to control you. Imagine you are on a riverbank, watching a river flow by. The river is your thoughts and emotions. You can jump into the river and be carried away by the current, or you can stay on the bank, observing its flow, knowing that you are the bank, not the river. Then, we have Stoic journaling. It's not just writing a diary. It's a deliberate practice of reflection. In the morning, you can write about the challenges you expect to face and how you plan to approach them with virtue. In the evening, you can reflect on the day. Where did you act with wisdom? Where did you get carried away by emotions? What could you have done better? What lesson did you learn? This dialogue with yourself is crucial. It allows you to analyze your judgments, question your beliefs, and reaffirm your principles. It's like having a conversation with your own inner sage, polishing your mind day by day. Negative visualization, which we discussed earlier, is another powerful tool. It's not about being pessimistic, but about being grateful. Imagine losing something you value deeply, your home, your job, a relationship, even your health. Feel that loss for a moment, and then open your eyes and look around. Do you still have it? Isn't it a gift? This practice teaches you to value what you possess in the present, to live with less attachment to external things, and to be prepared for when life's inevitable circumstances take something away from you. It doesn't prepare you for misery, but for resilience and gratitude. And of course, Stoic meditation. It's not just sitting in silence. It's an active, reflective meditation. You can meditate on impermanence, on the nature of your thoughts, on how to apply virtue in a specific situation. It's a space for deep introspection, for connecting with your reason, and for strengthening your resolve. It's a moment to remind yourself who you are and who you want to be. Beyond the distractions of the world, When we talk about facing pain and adversity, Stoicism shines brightly. Life is suffering, Buddha said, and the Stoics understood this perfectly. But unlike other philosophies, they don't seek to avoid pain, but to transform it. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest emperors and Stoic philosophers, faced wars, plagues, betrayal from those close to him, and the death of his children. Yet, amidst all that chaos, he wrote his Meditations, a testament to the human capacity to maintain serenity and reason. He said, "What does not impede my virtue, does not impede me. If pain does not corrupt your soul, if it does not prevent you from acting with virtue, then it has no real power over you." Think of someone who has suffered immense loss, a deep grief. The pain is real, it's human, but Stoicism invites us to go beyond unnecessary suffering. Can you control the loss? No. Can you control your reaction to it? Yes. You can choose the path of self-pity and bitterness, or you can choose the path of acceptance, loving remembrance, finding meaning in what remains. Epictetus, a slave by birth who was tortured and crippled, taught that true freedom resides in our mind. He could not control his slave condition, but he could control his attitude towards it, and he became a beacon of wisdom for thousands. His famous quote, "It's not things that disturb us, but our opinions about things," is a constant reminder of our power to reinterpret reality. When anxiety suffocates you, when the future seems like an impenetrable fog, remember, can you control the future? No. Can you control your actions in the present, today, right now? Yes. Focus your energy on what you can do today to positively influence your tomorrow. Worry is an anticipation of pain, a suffering that rarely materializes as we imagine it. Instead, embrace the dichotomy of control, act diligently, and let go of the results. Now, let's close our eyes for a moment. I'll guide you through a brief mental exercise that will allow you to apply everything we've talked about. Sit comfortably, relax your shoulders, your neck. Take a deep breath, inhaling slowly through your nose and exhale, releasing all tension. Repeat this 2 more times, feeling your body relax with each exhalation. Now, I want you to visualize a situation that causes you worry or stress in your life. It could be a problem at work, a difficulty in a relationship, financial uncertainty, or anything that takes away your peace. Don't run from it. Face it head on, as if it were a scene on a screen in front of you. Observe the situation. What's happening? Who's involved? Allow the images to form in your mind. Now, observe your reactions to that situation. What emotions arise in your body? Anxiety, frustration, fear, sadness. Don't judge yourself for feeling these emotions. They are human. Just observe them as if they were sensations in your body, without clinging to them, without allowing them to define you. As you observe these emotions, ask yourself this fundamental question: what part of the situation is within my control, and what part is not? Perhaps you can't control what others say, or your boss's decisions, or the final outcome of an event. Acknowledge it. Accept that those things are outside your sphere of influence. Feel the relief that comes from releasing that burden. Now, focus your attention on what is within your control. You can control your attitude. You can control how you interpret the situation. You can control your actions, your words, your effort. Ask yourself, how can I respond to this situation with wisdom, with justice, with courage, with temperance? Visualize yourself acting from that wisdom, with calm, with clarity, with a firmness that is not aggressive, but centered. Imagine yourself speaking with equanimity, making rational decisions, giving your best without attachment to the outcome. Feel the sense of power and serenity that emanates from this conscious choice. This is your Stoic strength. This is your inherent power. You always have the ability to choose your response, no matter what life presents you with. Breathe deeply one more time, feeling this new perspective settle into your being. Exhale any lingering tension or worry. When you are ready, gently open your eyes, bringing with you the calm and clarity you've cultivated in this exercise. Discipline is not a prison. It is the highway to freedom. Many confuse discipline with rigidity, with self-denial. But for the Stoic, discipline is the highest form of self-love. It is the ability to say no to fleeting impulses that divert us from our highest goals. It is the strength to do what you know is right, even when it's difficult, even when no one is watching. Think about it. If you want to be fit, discipline leads you to the gym and makes you choose healthy foods, even when you'd rather stay on the couch eating junk food. If you want to master a skill, discipline makes you practice again and again, even when you feel frustrated. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, lived a life of immense responsibility. He had an empire to govern, wars to lead, plagues to face. But every morning, before the sun rose, He would get up and write his meditations, an exercise in mental self-discipline, a way of reminding himself of his principles and preparing for the day's challenges. He didn't do it for the world. He did it for himself, for his own soul. Stoic willpower is that inner flame that refuses to be extinguished. It is the unwavering determination to adhere to your values, no matter what. It is the resistance to the temptation of complaining, victimhood, mediocrity. It is the conscious decision to be better, to live better, to think better. When you feel like giving up, that the path is too difficult, remember your willpower. It is your superpower. It is the ability to choose, again and again, to be the architect of your own destiny, not the victim of circumstances. Discipline and willpower are the muscles of your mind, and like any muscle, they need to be exercised, challenged to grow and strengthen. If our mind is a garden, as we said, then reprogramming it is about pulling out the weeds and sowing the seeds of wisdom. Over the years, we've absorbed limiting beliefs, automatic negative thoughts, unfounded fears. We've built walls that prevent us from seeing our true potential. But the good news is that those walls aren't made of stone. They're made of beliefs, and beliefs can be changed. One powerful way to do this is through Stoic affirmations. They're not empty phrases. They are declarations of truth that resonate with the principles we want to embody. For example, instead of saying I'm an anxious person, you can repeat to yourself, I choose calm and clarity amidst chaos. Instead of I'm not enough, my worth does not depend on external approval. By repeating these phrases with conviction, you begin to rewrite your mind's software. You are creating new neural pathways, new ways of thinking. Another technique is breaking automatic thoughts. When a negative thought appears, don't accept it immediately. Stop. Question it. Ask yourself, is this thought absolutely true? Is it serving me? What evidence do I have that it's true? What more useful alternative can I choose? This simple act of questioning is incredibly liberating. It gives you a pause, a space, to choose your next thought, your next emotion, your next action. Don't identify with the thought. Observe it, question it, and let it go if it doesn't serve you. And finally, create your Stoic identity. Who do you want to be? How would that version of yourself act in different situations? How would they react to criticism? How would they face failure? Visualize yourself embodying those values, that calm, that strength, every day. Act like that person you want to be. Actions precede feelings. If you act with courage, you will feel braver. If you act with wisdom, you will feel wiser. Over time, that Stoic identity will cease to be an aspiration and will become your reality. It's like an actor who gets so deeply into their character that, in the end, the character becomes them. I want to speak to you now directly from the heart, unfiltered, about those moments when Stoicism stops being a philosophy and becomes a lifeline. Those moments when you feel alone in the darkness of the night, your fears magnified, your doubts assailing you. In those instants of vulnerability, Stoicism doesn't ask you to ignore the pain, but to observe it. It whispers, you are experiencing fear. It's a human emotion. It doesn't define you. You can choose how to respond to it. Do you let yourself be consumed? Or do you seek calm in your breath, in your reason? And suddenly, that darkness doesn't seem so dense. Or imagine you're standing in front of the mirror, looking at yourself, seeing your imperfections, your insecurities. The critical voice in your head is relentless. Stoicism stops you. It says, your worth doesn't reside in external perfection, nor in the approval of others. Your worth resides in your character, in your intention, in your effort to be better every day. Love yourself for your effort, for your humanity, for your capacity to grow. Accept what you cannot change about your appearance, and focus on cultivating the inner beauty that is within your control. And suddenly, the reflection doesn't seem so harsh. Suddenly, you see someone worthy of respect, worthy of love. And before making that crucial decision, the one you know could change the course of your life, uncertainty paralyzes you. What if you make a mistake? What will others think? Stoicism takes your hand. It tells you, do your best, research, reflect, consult, and then make the decision you deem wisest at this moment. With the information you have, once you make it, accept the outcome, whatever it may be, because the only thing you can control is the process, not the final result. Trust your judgment and your ability to adapt to what comes next. And suddenly, paralysis dissolves into decisive, courageous action. Stoicism is not a cold philosophy, alien to emotions. It is a profoundly human philosophy, born from the desire to alleviate unnecessary suffering. It doesn't ask you not to feel, but to feel with awareness. It doesn't ask you to be invulnerable, but to be unbreakable in spirit. It is a compass in the storm, a beacon in the darkness, a helping hand that reminds you of your own inner strength. We have reached the end of this journey together, and I want you to pause for a moment and reflect. Remember the person you were at the beginning of this podcast, almost 2 hours ago. Did you feel the weight of uncertainty, the tyranny of your own emotions, the sensation of being at the mercy of a chaotic world? Now, with the seeds of Stoic wisdom planted in your mind, how do you feel? Is there not a spark, a flame of power that has ignited within you? You have discovered that freedom is not the absence of problems, but the mastery of your own mind in the face of them. You have learned to discern between what you can control and what you must accept. You have recognized that true wealth resides in your character, in your virtue, in your ability to love, to be just, to be brave, to be temperate. You have understood that discipline is not a burden, but a path to self-realization, and that adversity is not a punishment, but an opportunity to grow and strengthen yourself. Awaken your new identity. You are more than your fears, more than your failures, more than the opinions of others. You are a rational being, capable of greatness, capable of unshakable serenity. You have the power to choose your thoughts, your emotions, your actions. You have the power to transform your life, no matter your past, no matter what the future holds. That power has always been there, latent, awaiting your recognition, and today, you have awakened it. I want us to make a personal commitment, a mental oath with yourself. Repeat with me, in silence or aloud, feeling the weight and truth of each word. Today, I choose calm over anxiety. Today, I choose reason over impulse. Today, I choose virtue over convenience. Today, I accept what I cannot change and act diligently on what I can. I am the master of my mind. I am the architect of my destiny. I choose strength. I choose wisdom. I choose peace. I choose to be stoic. May this mantra accompany you. May it be your anchor in storms and your compass in the fog. Remember it in moments of doubt, in challenges, in victories. May it be a constant reminder of the person you are becoming. Now, to conclude this journey, I want you to gently close your eyes again. Allow your breath to be your guide, soft and deep. Inhale, exhale, feel the stillness settling within you. Think about the journey you've taken so far, the lessons you've learned, the strength you've discovered. Imagine your future not as something uncertain, but as a blank canvas that you, and only you, have the power to paint with your actions, your choices, your wisdom. Visualize yourself facing life with unshakable serenity, with quiet courage, with a clear mind. Feel that peace, feel that strength. It has become a part of you. Today you chose not to give up. Today you chose not to be a slave to your emotions. Today you chose to live with honor. Breathe deeply one more time, carrying this new awareness with you. When you are ready, open your eyes and bring this strength, this peace, this wisdom into every aspect of your life. This isn't the end, it's just the beginning of your Stoic journey, a path of continuous growth, self-discovery, and profound transformation. Walk with confidence. The power is within you, and it always has been. Think about the sheer amount of energy we expend each day fighting against reality. We resist what is. We wish things were different. We yearn for a past that's gone or a future that isn't here yet. This constant tug-of-war with what is exhausting. It drains our mental reserves, leaves us feeling frustrated, and blinds us to the opportunities in the present moment. The Stoics understood this profound truth. Acceptance is not resignation. It is strategic surrender to what is beyond your control. It's like being caught in a powerful river current. You can fight against it, expend all your strength, and still be carried downstream, exhausted. Or, you can accept the current's direction and focus your energy on steering, on navigating, on finding your way to shore. This acceptance of the external allows you to redirect your precious internal energy to where it truly matters, your response. And speaking of our response, let's talk about gratitude. It's easy to get caught up in what we lack, what went wrong, what we wish we had, but a core Stoic practice, often intertwined with negative visualization, is the cultivation of deep, abiding gratitude for what we do possess. Not just the big things, like health or loved ones, but the small, often overlooked miracles of everyday life. The warmth of a cup of coffee, the comfort of a bed, the sound of rain, the ability to read these words. When you deliberately shift your focus to what is good, what is present, what is a gift, you fundamentally alter your internal landscape. You train your mind to see abundance instead of scarcity, opportunity instead of obstacle. This isn't about ignoring problems. It's about building a foundation of appreciation that makes you resilient when problems inevitably arise. Consider the power of perspective. Our minds are incredible storytellers. They can take a simple event and weave a narrative of tragedy, injustice, or despair. But they can also, with conscious effort, reframe that same event as a lesson, a challenge, an opportunity for growth. A Stoic asks, is this truly a catastrophe? Or is it merely an inconvenience that my mind is amplifying? They understand that often, our suffering comes not from the event itself, but from the judgment we attach to it. Imagine two people losing their jobs. One spirals into despair, blaming the world. The other sees it as a forced opportunity to explore a new path, to learn new skills, to reinvent themselves. The event is the same. The perspective, and thus the outcome, are vastly different. You hold the power to choose your narrative. This leads us to the concept of indifference to externals. This doesn't mean being uncaring or apathetic. It means understanding that things like wealth, fame, health, or even social approval are not inherently good or bad. They are merely preferred indifference. They can be used for good or ill, and they can be lost at any moment. Your true value, your true peace, does not depend on their presence. When you detach your sense of self-worth from these external variables, you become truly free. The fear of losing them diminishes. The craving for them lessens. You gain an incredible sense of inner stability, because what truly matters, your character, your wisdom, your virtue, can never be taken away from you, only given away by your own choices. The Stoics were also masters of self-awareness, a deep, unflinching look at one's own character and motivations. They understood that to truly master your mind, you first had to understand it. What are your triggers? What are your irrational fears? What are the unexamined beliefs that hold you back? This self-inquiry, often facilitated through journaling, is not about self-criticism, but about self-improvement. It's about shining a light into the hidden corners of your psyche, identifying the weeds that need pulling, and cultivating the virtues you wish to embody. It requires courage to look honestly, but the reward is profound, the ability to truly know yourself. And knowing yourself is the first step towards true self-mastery. And how does this apply to our relationships? Stoicism teaches us benevolence and duty towards others. We are social beings, wired for connection. While we control our own minds, we also have a responsibility to our fellow humans. This means acting with kindness, with justice, with empathy. It means contributing to the common good, even when others act irrationally or unkindly. The Stoic strives to understand their motivations, recognizing that their actions often stem from ignorance or pain. You control your reaction to their behavior, and you control your choice to act with virtue, regardless. This doesn't mean being a doormat. It means acting from a place of strength and principle, not from reactive anger or bitterness. Consider the power of the present moment. So much of our anxiety is rooted in the future, and so much of our regret in the past. But the only moment you truly possess, the only moment where you have the power to think, to choose, to act, is right now. The Stoics would emphasize the importance of attention, being fully present in whatever you are doing, giving it your complete focus. Whether it's a difficult task, a conversation, or simply eating a meal, engage with it fully. This practice anchors you, calms the restless mind, and allows you to find meaning and purpose in every single step, rather than constantly striving for some distant, elusive future happiness. The path of Stoicism is not one of sudden enlightenment, but of consistent daily practice. It's like building a muscle. You don't go to the gym once and expect to be strong forever. You show up consistently, lift weights, rest, and repeat. Similarly, cultivating a Stoic mind requires daily effort. The morning reflection, the evening journaling, the conscious effort to apply the dichotomy of control, the practice of gratitude. Each small, consistent step builds upon the last, slowly, surely, transforming your internal landscape. Don't seek perfection, seek progress. Celebrate the small victories, learn from the setbacks, and recommit to the path each new day. And this leads to the profound realization that true freedom is internal. The world can strip you of your possessions, your health, even your physical liberty. As Epictetus, a former slave, profoundly understood, but it can never strip you of your ability to choose your thoughts, your judgments, your character. This is the ultimate fortress, the unassailable inner citadel that no external force can penetrate. This knowledge, deeply understood and consistently applied, is the key to enduring peace and an unshakable spirit. You are free, not because of what you have or where you are, but because of who you choose to be within. So, as we bring this shared contemplation to a close, carry these powerful insights with you. They are not merely ancient philosophies, they are timeless truths, distilled wisdom from those who walked before us and mastered the art of living well. You possess the capacity for profound inner peace, for remarkable resilience, for unwavering strength. The path is laid out before you. It calls for discipline, for reflection, for courage. But the rewards, a life lived with purpose, serenity, and true freedom, are immeasurable. Step forward, embrace your power, and begin sculpting the magnificent, stoic life that awaits you.